When life gives you Don Lemons, well, he's going to get charged with a crime from the Department of Justice. Welcome aboard. So, Jeremy, do you know anything about this story?
Not at all.
All right. So
I still don't, and this is our second take.
I'm still learning about it. So there's this group that wants to go into a church. This group is in Minnesota.
Okay.
They decide they're going to go into a church that has nothing to do with immigration. Nothing. They're just a church.
Okay.
They decide to go in and disrupt services.
Well, I mean, now, is this a place where people that are associated with ICE worship? I mean, not that that's right, but I mean, is that there?
Not that I'm aware
Did
of.
this church have a sign out that says something about ICE? Or maybe they'd given a sermon?
Not that I'm aware of, if it matters.
Okay. Well, I'm just trying to, like, how did they get this church in that eye?
That's a great question. Something we might want to look up what we're doing this.
Okay.
But apparently this group contacts Don Lemon. So the story goes. And they say, we want you to be the media and we want you to film this.
Okay.
So he's like,
now Don Lemon is with CNN, right?
No, he got fired.
Oh, okay. Now I do remember. Okay,
Yeah.
now I remember Don. I'm okay. So is he just doing his freelance thing?
He's doing a freelance thing.
Okay. All right.
He's still complaining about how racist Caucasians are, even though his boyfriend or husband is white. But hey, go figure.
You know what? I mean, did the boyfriend or husband get his white supremacy card?
I think I don't know. I
I never got mine in the mail either, but
no.
And there's a 1-800 number for it, but it seems to just go straight to voicemail.
Well, apparently I'm in bad graces because I'm Jewish, and so they want to invite me.
Oh yeah, you don't get that.
No,
card.
I don't.
Yeah.
I'm not invited to
allowed
the
that,
meetings.
yeah. No,
I'm not invited to the meetings.
And I
What
will
do you
say
do?
this: you said it was ICE, right?
Yes.
And it's in Minnesota.
Minnesota.
Absolutely, they should be protesting ICE right now in Minnesota.
Why?
Absolutely, they have to. I mean,
Why?
ICE is terrible in Minnesota.
Okay.
I mean, have you ever been to Minnesota?
No.
Have you ever been to Minnesota at this time of year?
Hell no.
Well, the reason why is because ICE is terrible. I mean, it's all over the place. You need to do something about ICE. You need to abolish ICE in Minnesota.
You got to get the snow plows. You got to get the salt.
You got to get cinders. You got to get a plow out. You got to get one of those nifty little heater trucks. If you've got the right driveway, you need the heated driveway. ICE is terrible this time of year in Minnesota.
They have heated driveways?
Oh, yeah, yeah. We actually...
Interesting, okay.
We had plans for one at the house that I lived in because I lived in a very cold climate for most of the year. And we had plans for it. And then we ended up doing interesting science experiment. We ended up doing black cement on the driveway.
Did it help?
We were very woke, even in the 90s. And 80s. Oh, 80s. Jeez. And actually, the weird thing is all the snow would melt out and all the ice would melt out on the driveway, but we had like decorative brick.
Okay.
And it wouldn't melt on the brick. And so you had like these stripes on the driveway.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Well, this group decides to go in and protest. Don Lemon's there. Okay. So they're disrupting church services. And regardless of the reason, doesn't matter. There's something called the FACE Act. Have you ever heard of it?
Not at all.
So the FACE Act was passed in 1994. It is, let me take a look, 18 USC 248. And Bill Clinton signed it. And what was going on at the time was a protest at abortion clinics. And the government decided, well, we don't want people to even be able to stand in front of an abortion clinic quietly praying, because that's intimidating to people going in to murder their babies. I mean, I'm sorry, to have a abortion of a clump of cells. So they passed this law. And even, like I said, if you stood in front of an abortion clinic and silently prayed, you would get arrested. You have to do it across the street, and people can't feel intimidated. Got it?
Okay. All right.
And several people were arrested. I remember back in the 90s, people were arrested and thrown into prison for disrupting an abortion clinic.
Okay.
Well, one thing that is also in the FACE Act, you're not allowed to, however, the law also explicitly protects places of worship, including churches. You cannot go into a church and disrupt services. That's a crime.
Okay. Well, I mean, technically, I mean, it's a crime to go into any private place and disrupt anything.
Yeah, but they're pretty sensitive about certain things. Apparently, abortion is on the magic list, so you can't do that.
No, but I mean,
religion's on that magic list.
I feel like, no offense, I get it, and I understand all this, but I would like to point out, you're not allowed to go into, I don't know, a grocery store and disrupt services. You're not allowed to go in a restaurant and disrupt services.
No, you're right.
You're not allowed to go to any private place and disrupt any part of their business.
Yeah, I think you're right. You're right.
This is one of those meaningless laws, in my opinion, where we just keep writing laws to make it sound better.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought about that.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get the idea of you can't be on the sidewalk in front of the abortion clinic. I mean, we'll leave that there. That's a whole nother topic for another day. But that seems a little outstretched, but maybe there were violent acts before it. I don't know. But you still cannot go into any private place and disrupt anything going on in there.
Well, now here's my question. And I'm really struggling with this because, Don Lemon is a racist, absolutely horrible person. That's my opinion. It's not my opinion he's racist. He's racist, and I'll bring the receipts on that in this show. But I'm like thinking, if you're just there to film it, does that mean maybe you're not?
You're an accessory.
Well, no,
you have prior knowledge of the crime.
If I'm called up, like the news is called up. Well, okay, like when they went to arrest. Oh God, who was it? What's that guy's name? I'm totally blanking. There was one guy that was getting arrested. This is under the Biden administration, and CNN was there, set up at 5 a.m. when they burst into this guy's house. I see his face in front of me. I'm blanking out on his name right now. I'm sure I could look it up. Everybody's going to yell at in the comments at me for not remembering the guy's name. But they knew with CNN, I guess that wasn't a crime. They weren't disturbing. But it's just going and filming it a crime, I wonder. And that's where I'm like, I don't know. Like, if Don Lemon really just kind of got the heads up that this was going to happen, did he break the law?
Well, here's the question. Did he film inside the church?
Yes.
Did the church welcome him in? Did the church
don't think so.
Say that he could record on their private property?
I don't think so.
Then obviously he committed crimes. Maybe not the one we're talking about, but he was absolutely trespassing.
Oh, he was absolutely trespassing. Absolutely. And we're going to watch some videos in a second. But here's the other thing I'm thinking. If I'm in a church, or in my case, a temple, and somebody comes in and starts interrupting, what would you do? Because me being Jewish, there's been some temple unalivings that have happened in the last 5-10 years. There have been some church unalivings that have happened in the. I'm sorry, you start coming in. I don't know what you're doing. My life, I'm feeling like my life is in danger. And I don't think I would have been as calm as these parishioners. I would have been in fear for my life. Well, what about you? Or would you be waiting for something to actually happen?
I'm probably not a good person to ask for that, because I'm one of those people that read the room kind of thing, read the people kind of thing. And I've actually been the guy that kind of has to decide if that strange person that's kind of disruptive walking into the church needs to be removed from church, or maybe just calm down and set down type of thing. So I don't know that I'm the right one to ask for those knee-jerk reaction kind of things, because I will probably always deliberate a little bit about it. I don't know. I'd have to be there, I guess.
Well, here's kind of the difference between church and temple, in my honest opinion. In church, you're supposed to turn the other cheek.
No.
No. In temple, we've got lawyers. I've got.
You also have doctors. You also have doctors.
You got doctors.
So I don't know.
Well, here's what Don Lemon. And
why does it? Hold on, right there.
Yes.
First of all, he's got the stupid lemon hat on thing, which really drives me nuts, because it's like, no, you were advertising right then. This had nothing to do with making sure that, except for making sure that you got your name where it needed to be. But why does he look like the guy from Spaceballs? Doesn't he look like, with the big old hat and the glasses? Doesn't he look like the guy from Spaceballs?
The nephew's brother's kid's roommate.
guy.
No. I know exactly.
It's not Darth Vader.
He's Dime Store. He's Dime Store Spaceballs Darth Vader. What was his name?
Dark Helmet.
That was it. Dark Helmet. Yes. Oh my God. Absolutely.
Rick Moranis played it. Yeah.
Great actor. All right. So let's see what Don Lemon has to say.
This is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a clandestine operation. We show up somewhere. They don't expect us to come there, and then we disrupt business as usual.
Did she just say Operation Pull Out? That's middle school humor. I get it, but
let's check it again.
I just couldn't get it out of my head.
Let's see.
This is an operation that is secret, that they invited folks out.
This is Operation Pull Up, more of a...
Okay, she says it's Operation Pull Up.
Pull up. Okay.
Pull up. More like I heard pull out.
I'm half deaf, and I just
did you hear pull out? I thought it was pull. I thought it was pull out. It's
and
pull
I was
up.
just like, I can't do it, especially not after we talked about the abortion clinics. But yeah. Anyway.
Clandestine operation. We show up somewhere. They don't expect
clandestine. Clandestine. It's not very clandestine. She's standing out there.
Yeah.
With a microphone.
Yes.
It's not very clandestine.
No. Not at all.
To come there, and then we disrupt business as usual.
Okay, isn't that an admission of guilt?
Absolutely. But I'm still trying to wrap my head around why. It's like, I just don't quite get it. Because you've got one group of people going to another group of people that neither one of them really have a whole lot to do with ICE.
Yeah.
Other than your 15 minutes of fame, which off mic, we'll talk about what happened in my world and trying to get these 15 minutes of fame type of thing going on. It's just annoying. But anyway, so I just don't understand this. It feels like all this was for the Instagram.
I agree. Let's see what else they have to say.
So right now it's kind of mayhem. We're not part of the...
Okay, so this is actually what's going on in the church.
Okay.
This is actually the moment.
He's not part of the activist, but he interviewed the activists. He had prior knowledge of it, or else he wouldn't have been there.
Yeah.
So no matter what happens from this point forward, he is an accessory to everything that goes on.
Yeah. All right, let's see.
Activists, but we're here just reporting on them. Did they explain to you why they're here?
They did not.
They said that there is someone here in Easterwood, someone who is a member of ICE, and he's a pastor of the church.
It doesn't matter. If the pastor is a member of ICE, he has every right to hold church services uninterrupted. Yeah. And this is the pastor, so let's see.
Church had gathered for worship, which we do every Sunday. We asked them to leave, and they obviously have not left.
So this...
Okay, so he didn't answer the question. So let's just say, the pastor is a member of ICE. So what?
But the law actually says that
you cannot disrupt church services.
Yeah. Well, and
they admitted
he is not officially. I mean, you're not a member of ICE if you're off the clock.
Well,
you're not a teacher right now.
Oh no, like if you're a police,
your profession is teacher, but you are not teaching right now.
But no, hold on a second though. Police officers are never off duty.
That is not true.
Per se.
That is absolutely not true. That is absolutely not true. If that was the case, why is there mandatory overtime?
Well, no, Jeremy, I'm an idiot.
Well, I know that. but seriously, if that's the case, if officers were never off the clock, why is there mandatory overtime for them?
But if something happens,
that's a whole different thing.
Aren't they allowed to carry their boom stick?
That depends. That depends. That is not a blanket statement. You can't.
It's not a blanket statement.
No.
Yeah, I know they can't bring it onto like a school or anything like that, but
yeah, there are certain regulations. It has to do with state. It has to do with a lot of things. I don't know what Minnesota.
I know they can't.
I
know they can't walk onto a school campus or anything like that. But
in California.
In California, you go
Actually, you can, but you have to have your You have to be in the line of duty.
Okay,
If
well,
you're off duty, you cannot walk on
Okay,
campus.
I stand corrected, or I'm sitting corrected. All right, let's get back to this.
Is what the First Amendment is about the freedom to protest.
No, actually, it is not.
No, you have the right to protest. You have the freedom of speech. You do not have the right to go in and disrupt church services or a business.
Well, you also don't have the right to protest on private property
No, you
without
don't.
permission from the owner of that private property.
Correct. They could be out on the street.
Absolutely.
They could be on the sidewalk.
Absolutely. On the sidewalk of that business, absolutely.
Yeah, but you
parking
can't
lot,
go
maybe
into the
if the
business.
parking lot was given to the city and the city said it was okay.
There's a varying array of views in this church on politics of immigration. Recognize the complexity of the issue.
This shows you just how divided America is. When you look at the protesters here, and then you look at the people there who are praying, and you know what was the interesting thing? If these two groups could just get together, they might figure out what to do.
I don't necessarily agree with everything that's going on in the Twin Cities right now, but I don't think it's good to fight fire with fire. I think it's good to speak up, and I think it's good to protest, but I think it's better to do it in a peaceful way.
Yeah, that was interesting to watch. This guy here, look, hugging his kid. And, you know, I imagine it's uncomfortable and traumatic for the people here. They think you lost and this didn't accomplish anything, and you went into their house, the house of the Lord.
The reality is the house of the Lord is a place where love lives. It's not a place where you can have a pastor masquerading as the director for the field office of ICE.
Hold on. Pastor masquerading as it.
Well, I think she meant you can't have an ICE officer as a preacher. And I'm like, who says?
Well,
Yeah, like she is self-declaring herself judge, jury, and executioner. She has said, oh, you can't do this. You can't have a differing opinion. That's like saying you can't have conservatives or even moderates as teachers. Everyone has to be liberal, or you have to only have conservatives as teachers.
Yes.
And that is not realistic. And that is not, to coin a phrase, equitable. No, I'm sorry. Everybody is allowed. There is no litmus test to be a pastor. All right. Well, there's another video. There's a video of Don Lemon, and this is why he's a racist piece of garbage. This is him talking about the whole situation.
let me get this straight. He went
and he's doing
committed
interviews.
this thing, and he's obviously advertising. He obviously did this for the PR. He didn't do this to be an activist of any kind, because or else he wouldn't have had the lemon thing right on his head.
Oh, no. I think he did this to be an activist.
I think he did this for his benefit.
Oh, it won to get people to watch him. For
the gram.
Yeah, to get people to watch him on his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
But two, I think he clearly supports this nonsense. He clearly
I think he supports whatever will get him views and money.
Let's see what he says. Now, I want you to remember that his husband is Caucasian. His husband's white. All right, ready?
Yeah, but I'm sure he's guilty about that.
No, well, here we go.
The white husband.
I think people who are, in the religious groups like that, it's not the type of Christianity that I practice, but I think that they're entitled, and that entitlement comes from a supremacy, a white supremacy. I do understand that I'm the biggest name there. And I'm also, as I was on with my producers this morning, you and Kylie talk all the time. My producers were saying, I said, how did I become the face of this? And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America.
Okay,
he's the face of what?
He's the face of the protests that happen in Minnesota.
The protests that happened, or just this one random one?
He's the face of this protest because he is gay. Wait, he's gay? This that has to do with ICE? What does being gay have to do with ICE?
Nothing.
Though I have heard some people in the LGBTQ AAIPZWRTY++QRP group, don't ask me what all that stuff stands for, say, I've seen some people melting down going, they unalived Renee Good because she was a lesbian.
She was a lesbian?
They didn't care. Yeah,
she was a lesbian?
Yeah. The one with the wife.
What? They were... No, really?
Yeah, that's why they unalived her. Had nothing to do with a several thousand-pound vehicle going straight at an officer.
But I mean, did she announce herself as a lesbian?
No, I don't remember that announcement.
I mean, did she have like a sign? Did she tell the officers as soon as they walked up? I mean,
yes.
did she show the marriage license that showed both of them were of female and married? I mean, how would the officers definitively know the minute they showed up?
Her haircut. All right, let's keep going.
That was
also,
bad.
Because he was black. You're not getting in trouble because they're black. They're getting in trouble because they acted like schmucks.
Yes, absolutely.
They acted inappropriately.
I'm sorry, you show up.
They broke the law and disturbed a church ceremony.
Yeah.
Now, all right, here we go.
And you have a platform and you're the biggest name. Of course, you're going to be the person that they single out and they're going to make the headline because it plays to their base. And their base is full of racist, bigoted homophobes.
But you're the biggest name because you were the only guy that showed up.
No. They had people showing up.
No, but not famous.
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, the famous.
I mean, you didn't see all these other famous people showing up.
Oh, yeah, of course. He's quote unquote famous. So, yeah, he is going to be the person that people go, oh, Don Lemon? Yeah, I know that loser. He got kicked off of CNN. How bad do your ratings have to be kicked off of CNN? Don Lemon bad. But
no, my point is, I mean, there had to have been at least 20 or 30 other people that are higher than him in the scale of the world. Obviously, I can't imagine these people didn't call them. Didn't call one person from CNN and say, hey, show up?
Apparently not.
Didn't call, CBS Minnesota?
Apparently not.
I mean, but that's what I'm saying. You're not the guy they thought of immediately. You're the guy they knew they could get. There's a difference. I mean,
So
Christy Brinkley, but that's not who I'm going to get at 2:00 in the morning at the bar.
So this racist, bigoted, completely just devoid sense of all morals and decency human being, Don Lemon, what you're saying is he was the low-hanging fruit they could get to join.
Yeah. Okay. He's the one that was like, he was the Elvis impersonator that'll show up to your wedding for $50.
And going back, I want to go back to what he just said. Hold on, let's go back. Is he calling the entire church bigoted?
It sounded like it.
Face of this. And my producer said, Don, you're a gay black man in America and you have a platform. And you're the biggest name. Of course, you're going to be the person that they single out and they're going to make the headline because it plays to their base. And their base is full of racist, bigoted homophobes.
Oh, no. He's not calling the church racist, bigoted. He's saying everybody who's the base of the Republican Party is racist and bigoted. Hey, let me ask you something. Jeremy, I don't know how much history you know. Which political party by the eve of the Civil War owned all the slaves in this country?
Oh, hold on. I know this one.
You do.
It was the Democrats.
It was the Democrats.
Hey, what party was Lincoln?
Republican. It was.
Hey, didn't we have this talk once? It seems to me like in just about every single case where there was a woman or a black man or a black woman brought into government first,
Republican.
it was always a Republican, right? We played this game.
Yeah.
We went
First
to
Asian Republican,
right?
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Hey, we can move it forward. We can go to FDR, how he denied black people. Franklin Delano Roosevelt denied black people the benefits of the New Deal. Hey, which political party back in the 60s fought against the Civil Rights Act, like actively fought against it?
Greenpeace.
No. The Democrats.
I love how you didn't even like there wasn't even a smile there. It was like, yeah.
No, it's the Democrats. Who thinks that black people today, right now, which party thinks that black people are too dumb, too mentally deficient, too stupid to figure out how to go get a state ID? Like they don't even know where to go. They're too mentally deficient.
I do know where you're going. I do know where you're going. And it was actually said. They actually said that they were too mentally deficient to understand where to get a state ID. And I think that's horrible that we have to repeat it just to prove the point.
But I feel bad. The Democrats.
I feel bad just repeating that.
Who thinks that black people actually deserve good schools and can compete against anybody else if they get the right education? Oh, that would be the Republicans.
Yeah.
They believe in actual equality, not this, oh, you're a victim thing. No, you're a winner. Prove you're a winner. Go out and be successful.
Curtis Carroll said something like that.
Who?
Curtis Carroll. He's called the Oracle of San Quentin. He was a African-American kid in, I think, Oakland, that had gotten in trouble, ended up doing a jail sentence, in a prison sentence in San Quentin.
Okay.
Learned to read, learned to do this stuff on his own. He just, and he became what they called the Oracle of San Quentin. He started investing in penny stocks.
Oh, yeah, I heard about that. And he made a mint.
Oh, yeah, he did. And he gave most of it back. He's actually out now. I think it was 16 years of his 20-some years or something like that. It was a decent amount. But he was one of those kids that really finally learned it. He straightened himself, turned himself around, and he said that one of the things he thought of is he realized that people were just trying to keep his people down, and that was his words, not mine. And he said once he'd learned to read, once he'd learned to think for himself, is when his mind had changed and a shift in his thinking. Mm-hmm. And it was interesting because I when I taught in the jails, that was one of the videos that I would show with the guys in that about financial responsibility and responsibility in general. And that it was interesting because a kid. I mean, by all respects, a kid. And African American, and he was like, no, he said, it was society keeping me down. It was the people in my neighborhood keeping me down, making me believe that I had to feel this way. And so it's interesting, and I can't remember who he's partnered with now. I want to say it's Robin Williams' kid or Jack Tripper, Three's Company. What was his name?
The kid?
No, the guy, the guy, Jack Tripper.
Okay, I don't know.
I can't remember his name. His son. It was either his son,
John
or
Ritter.
John Ritter's son, or Robin Williams' son is actually working with Curtis Carroll right now, and they're going around and teaching financial literacy and history to a sense, like civil rights history, but unbiased to all these neighborhoods and to all these kids and stuff, and that. So because they've realized that that's kind of where it is. I mean, people are keeping populations down by not teaching them math, not teaching them true history, true understanding of how things work. And so it was an interesting thing. But anyway, I just bring this back that, that base that we're talking about, it's like, no, that's the base that's actually trying to lift you up. Republicans, conservatives are generally the ones that are trying to get you to be better for yourself. Because they know if you feel better, if you're doing better for yourself, you'll do better for other people.
Well, here's the difference between Republicans and Democrats. Democrats want the government to give you stuff so they could hook you in. They need you to fail. They need you to not be successful.
They need you to be the duck getting the bread in the pond.
Republicans, they need you to be successful. They want you to be successful. And, I think Black America is starting to realize that racist pieces of garbage like Don Lemon are the problem, because 30% of Black men voted for President Trump because they saw what happened. They're like, wait a second, we were making money under this guy. We could do this. Mm-hmm. We could be successful. They just love Donald Trump. And the more this goes on, the more successful people are being under Donald Trump in Black America, the more they're starting to realize.
Black America.
Yeah, but everybody, Hispanics, 52% of Hispanics voted for Trump because they're tired of Don Lemon's "you're a victim." They're racist. They're sexist. They're homophobic. They're xenophobic. No, Don Lemon, we are cutting you down. It's not because you're gay. Don't care. It's not because you're Black. Don't care. It's because you're an idiot.
Yeah.
You have a victim mentality. You want to be oppressed. You want to feel like you're oppressed. You're not saying, please oppress me, but what you're saying is, we need to be so oppressed by this other group so we can whine and complain about it. And Don Lemon, that's the problem. You are the person victimizing you.
Yeah. I get that.
And what really gets me is, how you stop victimization? You like and subscribe teachers and train stations. Be part of the solution. Be part of, what the heck are we? I don't know. Be part of our first
We're
100.
a movement.
We are a movement.
Get it? Train, move. Come. Wow.
That was terrible.
I know it was terrible, but come on. Some of these jokes I just do for me.
You do them for you, because and if you have thoughts about Don Lemon and his racist attitude, maybe you don't think he's a racist. Maybe you think Don Lemon is right. Everybody that is not gay or black is racist. Let us know. We've gotten a lot of people commenting that disagree with us lately. Yeah. And we take turns. You've seen it. We're always, we will have a discussion with them. We never call them names. And we do really appreciate it. And I really hope that those people end up subscribing. And I actually said, as soon as we can do it, once we figure it out, we'd love to have you on as a guest to debate us on any topic you want. And he said, yeah, so we'll see if we could get that set up. I would love to do that. Let's see the last of this video.
All right, it's about.
All right, so being that that's the end of that video.
I love how we're so unprepared sometimes that you don't even know where the video ends. I'm walking in going, I don't know what just happened. And you're like, yeah, well, I found out 3 seconds ago.
Edit. All right, so what's your final thought about this whole situation? Do you think Don Lemon did a crime or not? Because I'll go first. I came into this wanting to say, you know what? Well, he was there just filming. I agree. I think everybody that participated should be charged with a crime, but not Don Lemon, because he was media and he was going to do this and they invited him to do it. But, the more we talk, the more I'm like, you know what? I'm thinking he participated, and I'd like to see smoking gun emails on this, smoking gun tests. But, I've kind of changed my mind since we started this conversation.
I think he's absolutely able to be charged with a crime. Will he? Who knows? But I think he's absolutely able to be charged with a crime because he had prior knowledge of the crime. That makes you an accessory. And it's not even an accessory after the fact. That's an accessory, full on. Now, granted, we're talking about trespassing at this point. We're talking about something that's really not that big a deal. But in that sense, in the sense that you can prosecute, But he definitely had an issue there. I mean, the fact that he showed up, he knew. He doesn't live in that town. So he had to travel there for this.
Yes.
He obviously was in that church recording. I can guarantee he didn't get permission.
Oh, absolutely.
So at the very least, he has accessory for, and I don't know if you could go as far as to say inciting a riot or trying to incite a riot or anything like that, but definitely an unlawful protest, definitely trespassing, and definitely accessory.
Now that I think of it, the more I think about it, I've changed my mind. I was ready to come in and say, yeah, everybody did a crime except for him. But now that I'm thinking about it, if somebody says, hey, I'm going to rob a bank, come film it.
Exactly.
You are there. You're a participant. Now, you might not be the
definition
main
of
culprit.
accessory.
But yeah, I've changed my mind. Hey, and you, what do you think? Should Don Lemon be charged with a crime? Comment below. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah. And with that, we'll see you at the next stop.
They unalived Renee Good because she was a lesbian.
How would the officers definitively know the minute they showed up?
Her haircut.